Hello everyone and welcome to September. Welcome back to Staying in the Conversation with me, Becca Marino. I'm going to start by reading a little piece from a book that I'm currently reading. If the universe could speak, this is what it would say. Trust me in the midst of a messy day. Your inner calm, your peace in my presence need not be shaken by what is going on around you. Though you live in this temporal world, your innermost being is rooted and grounded in eternity. When you start to feel stressed, detach yourself from the disturbances around you. Instead of desperately striving to maintain order and control in your life, relax and remember that circumstances cannot touch my peace. Seek my face, and I will share my mind with you. Open your eyes to see things from my perspective. Do not let your heart be troubled, and do not be afraid. The peace I give is sufficient for you. Whilst this verse that I read comes from the Bible, what I share is not derivative from religion or Christianity. What I share and what I teach is a fundamental truth of all human beings, whether you consider yourself religious or not, whether you are part of a religion or not, whether God is your word or it's the divine truth, it's the power behind life, it's the divinity of the universe. It doesn't matter what you do with this knowledge. It doesn't matter how you connect to this power that is breathing you. It doesn't even matter if you don't connect, because you're always connected, whether you know it or not, whether you believe it or not. It's like an online portal, like we can connect to the internet. So for us as spiritual beings, fundamentally, that we are that connection, we are that divinity. And so today, for the first September Staying in the Conversation video, I'm going to come back to basics and talk about what it is that I share, so you can know for yourself, is this the right YouTube channel for you? Is this the right videos for you and for your life to be listening to feed into your mind? Because it is so important what we feed our minds. The same way food and water nourishes our bodies, the words we listen to, the things that we let into our mind are so vital, so important for our mental health, for our spiritual growth, for our spiritual exploration. If this is the journey you are on, I suggest you get really, really choosy and about what you allow in, what you accept, what you tolerate. Because to be on this journey, to be on this spiritual journey, has no limitations. It is uncovering and rediscovering the truth of who you are. It is stepping into the person that you really are. It's becoming yourself. It's becoming you. That's what this conversation is. That is the crux of what I share and what I hope to impart on the world, to my viewers, to the people in my WhatsApp group. This is what it is that I am sharing. I am sharing a fundamental truth, a fundamental spiritual truth about all humans. I've got a little list here, and I'm going to read what these fundamental truths are, how they represent itself, how they appear to me. And just before I say them, I just want to say, don't take my exact words for it. Try and feel in your heart, listen with your heart, and try and feel your words. Try and feel your words into what I am saying. Feel into the words that I am saying, so they can make sense to you in your world, with the words that you would use. So, fundamental spiritual truths about all humans. The first one is life works from the inside out. We think. We get to experience life via the beautiful gift of thought. Life, the universe, is always weighted in our favour. Life is a game to be played wholly and freely. We are an integral part of the divine. The divine power of the universe created everything, and we are an integral part of that power. There's nothing new under the sun. I love that one. When we relax into the flow of life and trust that we are always, always held, life flows freely with ease. We may still face hardship, but we do so with grace, knowing the greatest secret to mankind. And lastly, but not least, we are all connected. And I'd like to expand on a few of those points, maybe all of them. But the first one, life works from the inside out. What does that mean? What does that look like? And the only way humans can talk and express this magical potential that we have inside of us, this divinity, this spiritual journey, the only way that is plausible to explain and touch on, because it's a fraction of what it really is. It's a teeny tiny fraction of what I'm pointing to. It isn't the actual thing. Everything I talk about, everything I share is in metaphors. So it's finding your metaphor that works for you. So life works from the inside out. The best way, and my favorite way to explain that, is like the cinema analogy. So there is a film realm, that gets projected onto the big screen, where we get to watch this movie that, we've set out to go and watch. So the connection, the electricity, that is the divine, that is the power of life that breathes us. And then you've got the film realm, you've got the story. And for us, that's thought. That's the story within us. Our name, our job, our likes, our dislikes, the story we tell ourselves, the who am I? That I am, fill in the blank. That is the story, the thought. That is the film that we put in. And then we have the screen. Now that's just life. That's just a blank canvas. It's just a world in which we can play any movie. That's what that blank screen is. It's a completely blank screen. Any movie can be played on there. And that's what life is. That's what we see out in the world. And then there is a light in that projector. That light is consciousness. The fact that we are aware, we know that we are alive, we know that we are living, we know that we are human. We know this. We're alive, we're conscious. That's the light that comes through the projector. And when we see that life is a blank canvas, we are connected constantly to that flow of electricity, that divine, that power, constantly connected. It's always there, doesn't go anywhere. We have movies that we can put in that sometimes just get filtered in. We don't necessarily choose which movie gets put in because it appears that life, it isn't a blank canvas. It appears that life is just happening to us, that it's, coming at us rather than from this way, if that makes sense. So because it appears that way, we pick up belief systems, what is true about us, that I am not good enough, I am always late, I am fill in the blank. So over time, especially once you've got into adulthood, you pick up these belief systems about yourself that don't serve you, that don't serve your higher purpose, that don't allow you to live in your natural state of being, in your spiritual human state of being, that free-flowing, thriving space. Because we all have this potential to thrive, to live in this world and thrive, enjoy it and have fun. Whilst there is the polar opposite of hardship, our natural state of being is peace and serenity. We have that peace, we have that serenity that is within us. It's not something we're going to find out there. We're not going to find it from another person, a job, money. That's not where it comes from. We are innately born with peace and serenity. And so when the movie on the screen is presenting itself with crap and hardship, and it's a really scary moment in the movie, it's just a scary moment in the movie. And it will end, because it ends when you get a new thought, when you put in a new movie. And that happens anyways. That happens as a byproduct, by doing nothing, just by being human, just by being here, by living. We get new thoughts, we have hindsight. It's like, oh, okay, that makes sense now. That feeling that after you've done something, maybe 5 years later, maybe I shouldn't have done that. And then I wouldn't be in this place now. Okay, cool. Well, I did do it, can't go back. How can I learn from it? How can I grow from that? So that's hindsight, that's looking back, being able to see, being able to grow from that, being able to see, okay, I had that movie then, what movie am I now living and believing into now? And so when we can see that life is working from the inside out, it starts from this connective power that we are always tapped into, and then continues from this movie that is just subconsciously and consciously playing, and then splayed out into the universe, splayed out into life as we know it. And we get to experience this. We get to experience excitement and joy and love and peace and overwhelm and stress and anger and frustration and sadness. We get to experience all of these things. We have these polar opposites, these extreme emotions. We have it all because we are human. They are all normal. They are all part of the human experience. And being on this spiritual journey, looking inside at how do I want to live my life? Who am I? Who am I being in the world? What is serving me and my higher purpose? Because whatever is serving you, when you go into the world and you serve you serve your higher purpose and you step into the you that you are meant to be, it serves the entire universe. A quote springs to mind as I just said that, and it said something along the lines of, we need more people to ignite the magic from within their soul, to ignite that fire, that light. What lights you up? What drives your inspiration, your motivation? Go and do more of that. Do more of it. And the more we do what drives us, what motivates us, what ignites that inner spark, that's when we're living our truth. That's when we're stepping into the peace and serenity that we really are. When we live from a place of fear, and this is what I should do, and this is what I must do, and this is what society says I should do, we're in disservice. We're living in disservice to ourselves and the world. So when we step in to serving ourselves, our greater potential, it serves the entire world and the entire universe. So, nothing big. That's what it means that life works from the inside out. That's a fundamental truth of all human beings. And don't take my word for it, play with it. Listen to what I've said from your heart and find the words where it can resonate with you. We think, I've touched on that one. We have thought, and thought is a peculiar thing. And I don't think anyone fully understands thought, because we don't control it. We don't choose what we think. Someone can say something and then suddenly we feel offended. Someone can say something and it's like, oh, that feels nice. I like that. I want more of that. We don't know what we're going to think moment to moment. We don't know what's going to pop up in our mind. We simply don't know that. And we can't control, what comes in. And I lived probably 10 years of my life trying to control my thoughts. It doesn't work. It just doesn't, because we don't control our thoughts. What pops in is random, but it is a gift. Thought is not the bad guy. Thought is a gift from that power behind life, from that energy, that divinity that we are a part of. It is a gift because we think we can have an experience. If there was no thought, there would be no experience. We wouldn't be able to experience happiness or sadness. We wouldn't have that capability. So it is a blessing that we think. The magical thing about thought, if you are interested on this spiritual journey, is that we do get to choose which thoughts we will believe, which thoughts we let go of, which thoughts we follow, which thoughts we think more of. We can deliberately think of something. If I say think of a blue heart, you can be thinking of a blue heart and there it is. I can see it in my mind. You can deliberately think of something and you can deliberately turn away from something. And there is a fine line between ignoring something and burying your head in the sand to turning away from it. Turning away from it is acknowledging that there's a thought there that isn't serving you. This thought is not serving me. Let's say, for an example, I'm not good enough. That is the thought. I'm not good enough is a thought that isn't serving you. So the way to turn away from that is find ways in which you are good enough. Write a list. Think of a list. Meditate on the list. In your life, when you're doing things, think, oh, I did that really well. I am good enough. I'm really good at cooking. I'm really good at cycling. I'm really good at computers. Whatever it is, find the opposite of the thought that isn't serving you. So it's acknowledging the thought that's not serving you, but it's saying no to it. It's zero tolerance. My favorite analogy to that is when a toddler's asking for something, maybe, or an older child, it doesn't have to be a toddler, right before dinner. It's like 5 minutes to dinner and they're asking for a biscuit or, something before dinner. They want to eat a snack before dinner. And I, as a nanny, have zero tolerance for that. It's very easy to say no and stick to my no. No, it's nearly dinner time. So you can wait until after dinner. If you're still hungry, you can eat it. And so when there's that thought, I'm not good enough. No, we're not doing that. That's not who I am. I am good enough. I was born good enough. So it's acknowledging that thought is there. I'm not burying my head in the sand. I'm not pretending as such. I'm just looking at the truth, because there is a truth in there. Find your truth. Like I keep saying, don't take my word for it. Look inside and find your truth where the opposite is true. Because where a thought of disservice pops into your head, the exact opposite can be there and can be found, because up can't live without down and left can't live without right. Sorry, my eye is really itchy. Okay, cool. So with these polar opposites, if we've got I'm not good enough, then we've got I am more than enough. So it's knowing when we turn away from the thoughts that don't serve us. So whilst we don't control our thoughts, we don't choose our thoughts, we get to choose which ones we keep. We get to choose which ones we say no to, the zero tolerance. So moving on. We get to experience life via the beautiful gift of thought. I think I've touched on that quite a lot, but I can expand a little bit more. So, as I mentioned, with no thought, there would be no experience. So the fact that we can think, I'm not good enough, we get to experience that. It doesn't feel nice. Maybe we people please. Maybe we get ill a lot because it takes its toll on our body. That's what we're thinking. It's not nourishing us. It's stopping us from taking opportunities that we would otherwise take if we thought we were good enough. There's an outward, human, normal experience that comes from that thought. And if that thought was to be something different, the experience would then be different. So if I'm not good enough turned into I am more than enough, I am enough, the experience would be different. You'd feel more yourself, you would be free, you would step into who you really are. You would take opportunities when they come. You would be brave and bold and do those things. You probably won't people please as much either, because it just wouldn't be right for you. It wouldn't feel, it'll be like, yes, I can help, I can be of service. And then, no, sorry, I can't help now, I need to rest. And it's honoring yourself and honoring your body. So when I say we get to experience life via the beautiful gift of thought, that's what I mean. What have I got next? Oh, I love this one. Life is weighted in our favor. So I think it's Albert Einstein that says you can look at life in two ways. Oh no, that's the miracle one. Oh, there's two. There's two. Either everything is a miracle or nothing is a miracle. And the other one is, I think it's which statement is true for your life. The world is against me, and people are after me or something like that. Or the universe and life works for me, constantly working in my favor. Which one do you live on? Which film is playing in your life right now? And I really love that, because knowing the fundamental truth is that life is weighted in my favor means I can't get it wrong. I can go through stormy weathers, I can go through a rough patch, I can go through things that don't serve me, that I don't particularly like, and that's okay, because life is always weighted in my favor. It is that faith and trust, that connection, that spiritual guidance, that divinity, that power behind life has got me. It's holding me, it's holding you. Oh, and this can be a tricky one. It can be, life is a game to be played wholly and freely. And I mean wholly as a whole, not holy as in the Bible, kind of holy, WH, that one. So holy as in like whole, fully, you know, it's to be played fully and freely, wholeheartedly. And that can be a controversial one because not everybody agrees with the fact that life is a game. Life is serious, life is real. We have to face reality. And that's fine if that's what you believe and you're happy believing that and living your life. That is perfect. If that's serving you and that's helping you to be you, because you are not me. So we are different people. So that is perfect for you if what you believe, if that's what you believe. But for the way I see it and the way I'm working and playing in my spiritual journey is that life is a game. And it is the safest game in the world with unlimited possibilities and opportunities. It is a game that you cannot lose. Not even dying is losing. Because, and I can touch more on this in another video, dying is going back to where we came from. Dying is going back to that integral part, that power, that energy. It's going back into the nothingness. And so now we're in the form, we're in the somethingness. We're here, we're living, we're breathing. And so dying is just going back to that formless. But that's a topic for another day. What I mean when I say life is a game, when we look at life like a game, let's say Monopoly, for example, it can be really competitive and really serious, and this is really important to win. But then you pack up the board and go make dinner, and it was just a game, and it was fun, and it was funny. Think of it this way. Whatever you are going through right now, imagine in 5 years' time. Will that thing matter? Will it be of importance? Will it be this big, this difficult, this overwhelming in 5 years' time? Will it just be different? There'll be something else. There'll be a new story because it's 5 years later. So when we see life as a game, and it's like, okay, I'm playing at being overwhelmed right now. I'm playing at being stressed out right now, and I don't want to play that game anymore. I really don't. I want to play a different game. I want to play a game of peace and serenity and grounding. Okay, turn away from that. Again, it goes back to you cannot control your thoughts, but you can guide them. The same way you guide a child to say, no, you're not having a biscuit before dinner because it might ruin your appetite. Let's have dinner first. And if you're still hungry, go for it. Have a biscuit. So park your stress and overwhelm. Step into that connection that you have within you. And if it's not working, go back to overwhelm. Go back to stress. It's okay. It's there. You can pick it back up. But the more we turn away from it, the more we play in this arena of stepping into the truth of who we are, the easier it gets. And as a byproduct, our life flows more freely. We relax into the flow of life. We are an integral part of the divine. And the divine power of the universe created everything. So I'm going to talk about those together. So, as I've spoken about, the divine power is like the electricity that's powering up the projector. Gosh, I forgot the word for a second. So that projector that's being powered up by the electricity, we are the projector, and God, the power behind life, is that electricity powering us, breathing us, living us. And we are part of that. We are cut from the same cloth as that. That if the universe if we could see it, as a whole, it's like the universe wanted to experience its greatness. The universe knew that it was great and all life-giving and powerful and divine. It knew that, but it couldn't experience it. It didn't. You can't experience something if you don't have thought or consciousness or you being human. So what the universe did was split itself into 8 billion people and this world that we live in order for it to have an experience, in order for the greatest power behind life to know that it's great, to remember, yes, I am great. So to know how great you are, you need to have the experience of the complete opposite and think that you're not great at all, and think that you're powerless and hopeless. Like, to have hope and power and greatness, to have that, to know that, we have to experience the opposite, which is why as humans we get lost. And there are religions and there are spiritual teachings to guide us back to the fundamental truth of who we are. Now, I have unpacked a lot of stuff, and I think that is a beautiful place to finish. So if you would like to join me in my live calls, because these are recorded live every 2 weeks on a Wednesday going forward, I have a WhatsApp group if you would like to be in the know. If you'd like to join that, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and comment below if you have any questions. I'll also put my email address in there if you've got any other questions you want to ask, any topics you want me to touch on, anything in this video or any previous videos that you want me to expand on, please do let me know. And I hope you have a beautiful